What's up, guys? Shoryuken here, and today I want to discuss the other news that came out of Evo, at least that came before Evo, and that was that they are doing another arcade one-up cabinet machine. That is really cool and exciting. So I just want to go ahead and talk about that, get my thoughts on it, and also just relay the news out to you people in case you're one of the few who for some reason did not see it. But before we get into that video, of course, do have to let it be known, if you are into Capcom content and love Capcom fighting games as much as I do, then please think about subscribing to the channel. It would mean much, much, much to me. Okay, so with that, let's get into the video. So in addition to obviously all the Street Fighter 6 news that came out, the other fighting game news that came out, like Fighter Z getting rollback and them doing a Fatal Fury / Garo game again, there was other news that came out on the Versus game front. No, unfortunately, not a brand new Versus game that we wish we all have, but Arcade 1UP is doing now the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet, which is great, awesome, and I am super excited. As we all know, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a cult favorite, one of the best, really, fighting games ever made. Got tons and tons of characters and tons of zany arcade fun, and I'm really happy they are doing this. As we all know, Arcade 1UP has been doing a lot of these classic arcade games. They've already done pretty much majority of the, well, not majority, they've done all of the Versus games. So we've already had, of course, the X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Children of the Atoms, things like that. But now we're actually going to get them housed under one device, under one box. So that's right, you're getting every single Versus game that was created from Capcom / Marvel. That means X-Men Children of the Atoms, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. In addition to those titles, though, we're all also getting the Super Nintendo Marvel games, I believe, like Marvel War of the Gems, and I forget the other one. But people don't really care much about those. Although they were fun in their own right, the big deal is that we are getting Marvel vs. Capcom 2 finally re-released, right? Sort of, in a way. I know a lot of people wanted it to be like in some sort of console form, I myself, but hey, this is better than nothing considering that the game has been in limbo for a while. So they announced this, and it is going to be awesome. Now, another cool thing they announced is that this thing is going to have crossplay, meaning if you went ahead and purchased one of the older arcade one-up cabinet machines, like let's say you got the original Marvel Superheroes arcade cabinet, and then someone goes ahead and purchases this new updated one, which MVC2, which contains all of the other games, including Marvel Superheroes, you can still play with someone who has an old one-up machine, right? It's not like it's going to be incompatible where you can only play with people who have the new updated machine. No, you can still play. It's going to have cross-play, so that is fantastic. Don't feel like, oh, I wasted my money and I should have just waited until this bigger, larger collection came out. And speaking of money, of course, the thing ain't really cheap, but that's to be expected considering the sheer amount of content you're getting, and these one-up machines generally aren't really cheap anyways. But this device is going to be going for about $600, I believe, which is, pretty hefty. Definitely it's not something I'll be able to get right away out the gate, but definitely in the future, as I've kind of organized and managed my money a little bit better, I'll be able to go ahead and purchase this, because this is a must buy. I don't care what anyone says. If you are a fighting game fan, if you are a Versus game fan, this is a must purchase. Just something about having these games, pretty much released in the original form, how they came out, the feeling of the buttons, the joystick, the screen, it's just all just hits you, that big wave of nostalgia, and it just feels so freaking awesome. All you need is just like the greasy the greasy pizza on your hands when you're moving the joystick, and you completely, and the cigarette smoke, and you've completely replicated the feeling of playing these arcade games in the 90s. So just want to go ahead and drop that, which is really cool. I know some people are a little bit down, including myself, because while this arcade machine is great, believe me, it's fantastic, a lot of us would love for these games to be, actually released on consoles, right? One of the things, especially lately, Capcom's been doing these kind of collections. They did a beat 'em up collection, they just did a fighters collection, and one of the things I've been asking for, or have seen some people ask for, is for them to do some type of Versus collection, which is essentially what this arcade one-up cabinet is, but just released in console format, right? Digitally, physically, whatever the case you want to do. Clearly, they're I still have hurdles with that. I mean, to get deal with Disney and to get this game out clearly it's taken a lot of effort. As we know, MVC2 has been in limbo for quite some time. I mean, it used to be on the PS3 and Xbox 360 store for like felt like a month, and then it was completely taken down, delisted, and can't find again. The PS2, Dreamcast, Xbox versions are all going for ridiculous amounts of money. I'm so glad I have these games on Dreamcast, Xbox. I'm really happy I went ahead and purchased them when they came out because it's pretty much impossible to find them, and if you do find them, they're going to be quite pricey. So, unfortunately, if you aren't a big MVC2 fan like most of us are, the only way to play it really is to buy this machine. Here's to hoping that maybe they're kind of figuring things out and they can fully figure out the licensing to get this released on consoles, because that is really my wish. I mean, I really want all of them released on console. Like, again, them doing a big versus collection, but I understand that might be tough. So just getting an MVC2 collection would really just make me happy, or an MVC2 collection. Just getting the MVC2 game would just make me really happy. So just want to talk about this. It's really cool, really exciting. I know kind of got put in the back burner because everyone wants new stuff, understandably so, and there was so much information coming out of Evo between the other different fighter games, Street Fighter 6, that it kind of got buried, but still cool. I'm happy, I'm excited, and definitely will be getting this, not right away, but at some point. So just let me know down below, are you guys excited though? Are you guys happy this is happening? Do you want them to do an actual physical release, or a release on consoles, I should say, physical or digital? Or are you just saying, hey, whatever, who cares, it's an old game, I made peace with MVC2 not coming back, I don't care, I'm not purchasing this, heck, maybe it's too much money? Let me know what you guys believe or think down below in the comment sections. And with that being said, we'll just keep the show going. As I said before, you love Capcom content, then please think about subscribing. It would definitely mean a lot to me. And with that, I would love you all to take care and have a wonderful, wonderful day.